Yo, good day, good people. Good day, good people. So, welcome back to another episode of course, A Dope Black Dad. Of course, let me run it back. A Dope Black Dad with your host, Marcus A. Smothers. This episode is going to be different. The reason why this episode is going to be different, because now y'all actually get to see the voice. I see the man behind the voice of the podcast that you've been listening to. This is my first visual episode, and when I tell you I'm excited, but I think I'm more nervous than I am excited. So I appreciate everybody who's been rocking with me from episode 1, episode 2, the intro episodes and everything. I just appreciate y'all love. Y'all been giving me some great feedback. I just really appreciate y'all riding with me in this vision that I have to create this space of conversations that's just led by men of color. We don't have these spaces, but we here now, and we finna have some fun. As always, y'all know the conversations are never scripted. The conversations are just free-flowing. But what makes today's episode so much better is that I got some other people in here with me today. And these young men, I told them straight up, when you come in here, we just talking. We ain't got no scripts. We ain't come in doing we gonna do some intros, but we ain't do no briefing. We just had a quick conversation, got some water, and now we at the table. And so here we are. If you've listened to my past episodes, you know that education is dear to my heart. I've been in education for going on 20 years now, and it's just like the biggest thing to me. I could do classroom teaching all day long if I was paid enough. Not paid enough, so I had to go on some other ventures. Remember, I got 7 kids. That wasn't enough money, but here we are today. So we're going to focus on that, but these two gentlemen are going to come in today. If you've seen them around Duval, you know who they are. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. We're going to have some fun today. They already laugh because they already know. Who want to introduce themselves first? Who want to go first? Go ahead.
Man, legend right now.
So Marcus, thank you for having me here, man. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. And it's the first episode, so that's real dope. You know, great honor. I'm Gustavo Guzman. I'm from Belgrade, Florida, small town. Now I'm here in Jacksonville. Came here to study at Air Waters College, now known as University. Ran cross country and track, got scholarship through that. I was an IB scholar, finished, got an academic scholarship, got my degree, and then right after graduation, went straight into education also. So been teaching. I'm in my 3rd year now, surviving. So yeah.
Surviving. Yeah. Okay. That's what's up. Who we got?
How y'all doing? I say hello to the people. I make y'all feel like y'all here with us. Welcome to the conversation. My name is Andrew Lodge. I'm a native of Jacksonville, Florida. Biscayne Elementary, Highlands Middle School, Reebok High School, graduate of the Great Bethune-Cookman University. I was a music education K-12 major, marching band member of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated, 06. Had to throw that in there.
Remember Cap Alpha?
I knew it was coming. I have no affiliation, so I'm kind of biased. So I was like, okay.
We had to shout out to the brothers, you know. Now I'm a music teacher. Just entered my 4th year, officially 4th year, because I came in at the beginning of COVID year, so I started in January officially, but it's my 4th year. Happy to be off the tier 1. I'm a tier 2 vet teacher now, so I only get 1 observation a year now, not 2.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
I still get 2.
Yeah, so he's still getting
2.
Yeah. So when you get done, you go to 1 observation. Now you don't get 2, just 1.
Just 1. That's dope.
Yeah, man, just happy to be here.
Oh man. All right. So I had another question that I was gonna lead with, but you said you jumped in during COVID.
Yeah.
How was that?
So I was student teaching fall 19. I graduated December 14, 2019. So I graduated. I graduated on a Saturday, December 14th. I interviewed December 18th on a Wednesday. Like, oh yeah, they had called me in November. I don't know how they found out about me, but it's like, hey, we heard you about to graduate. I was like, I don't know how you got my number, but yeah, I am. She's like, when you graduate and you're ready to work, call me back. Lady, I just graduated. Like, I'm ready now. Let's go. She said, well, come interview Wednesday. I was hired. That was right before Christmas break. Did paperwork with Duval County. January 17th, 18th, I was back in the building. So people like, did you have post-grad depression? I don't even remember being anything but working, because as soon as I graduated, I got in the field. I needed my money, dog. I need to get this back. So we ain't take no breaks. And so I taught for, 2 to 3 months, and then we got shut down. The funniest thing was we went on spring break, and I told my kids, I was like, man, I wish we could have spring break every day. Little did I know we had spring break every day, and it sucked. I was like, bro, I can't wait to get back in the building.
Okay, so just jumping in, and you teach music.
Yeah.
So how was teaching music? And like we went virtual. Like how was it teaching music in a virtual space?
So I had just got there. Of course, I'm the youngest teacher there. One of the only 2 black males in my school that teach. So, like, everybody knew me, but they didn't know me yet. So, families would get on, and be like, oh, let's meet the music teacher. And they get on, I was like, oh, little brother is this? And I'm like, I'm the music teacher. And so, at first, I wasn't giving much work at all, because I'm like, y'all got other work. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. They at home.
Right.
Then I got administrative complaints, like, no, you got to give out work. All right. I started giving out work. They was like, Mr. Lodge, is this it? Like, they need more work to do. I was like, all right, y'all hard to please. So, I was like, I'm going to give you what you want. I gave them music theory for days. Like, here you go, do it. Wow. And coming back, hold up, this is too much. Oh, what? Y'all pick your poison. What you want? This or that. So then I was like, you know what? We just gonna get on here and have a good time. So they had party time, Mr. Lodge. We get on lives. Okay. I just play music. I had a speaker in the background. We just bumping music, boom, boom, boom. I'll never forget this one day. So it was kindergartners. We playing freeze dance on Zoom. And then the parents back there, they dancing too. I had a mom come on there. She was like, Mr. Lodge, you turned. Can you play Super Freak by James and G? I said, wait.
Not the parent.
I said, hold on. First off, these are kindergarten kids. Right. We not playing no Super Freak. You trying to get me fired.
Right.
But it was cool. But they was ready to get back in the building, so was I.
Oh, that's crazy. So, okay, I had an original question to lead with, but when you said that, I'm like, I just couldn't imagine. I remember my first year, but I couldn't imagine my first year going into that. My first year was crazy. I'll talk about that probably later. But I'm going to go right into our first question. I'm going to start over here, and then we can go through it. Like, when was your first time having a man of color as a teacher? Because that's like one of the things that we're talking about here today. Kind of the theme of the conversation is like men of color in the classroom, and just like even our viewpoint of our experiences in the classroom. So think about like, when was the first time you've ever had a man of color as a teacher outside of like gym? Because we always a PE teacher.
Yeah. So a male teacher outside of gym, I would have to say it's probably Mr. Johnson in 4th grade.
Okay.
Probably Mr. Johnson in 4th grade. So yeah, I did have somebody else, Mr. King. He wasn't a teacher. He was kind of like a support staff kind of that I went to at a young age. Like he kind of mentored me and all that. You know, father figure almost. Okay. And helped me. So yeah. But teacher wise, yeah, 4th grade.
Did that how did that feel? Like seeing somebody, another man of color as a teacher, or was that like when you first got that like, oh boom, dang, how was that?
It especially a male, it was definitely like impactful because it was like I usually didn't see male teachers that were underrepresented in the education field. I had plenty of minority female teachers or select few coming up, but definitely male, not that many. So it did help to just learn like respect. Not that I was disrespectful, but
right.
Those principles that you learn at a young age that build you up as you grow. So
okay, all right. What about you?
My first man of color teacher, 6th grade, 2 of them. Actually, I had 2 in the same year. Of course, my band director, Moses Evans, Ed Hollins, and then also a history teacher, R.I.P. Coach Cooler Jackson. That's my guy. Yeah, he was a history teacher, and Mr. Evans was the band director. So, wow, it was impactful because at that time I was an athlete, so I did football and all that stuff on the side. And then I got forced in the band. My dad was like, "You should try band. And like, just do something on the side. You gotta do more." And I was already a musician because I played drums as a kid. I don't know, in church and all that. So I already started playing drums and everything else. And he was like, "Don't try to do something different." And then we was wilding and hollering. So Mr. Evans, he signed the whole school up for band. He was like, "You want to be in band? Come be in band." I'm like, "I don't want to be, but all right." And we went and joined band. And he was like, "Just play trombone." I was like, "Okay." And then because of him, man, here we are. I went to college for band. I did it in high school, college, traveled around the world. Now I'm a music teacher, even play at the same Fridays because I'm at moment in 6th grade with him.
Wow. Yeah. So quick shout out to everybody who went to Highlands back in the day. And you know what I mean by back in the day. Highlands was the spot. Highlands was the spot to be in. Right now it's remodeled and it looks completely different from the Highlands that I went to. So if you're watching this and you're a Duval native, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I used to go down to Highlands. It's interesting that you both had a man of color early. Like we talked off camera. I've never had a man of color as a teacher. And I really even started thinking about, like, did I even have a black gym teacher? Like, I've never had a guy that looked like me in education, never. And even in college, never. Even in online, I've never had it. So I've never had that representation of someone looking like me, teaching me like that. In church, yeah, that's kind of different, but as like in school wise, so I like envy that type of stuff. And so I think that's one reason why I kind of like go hard, because they don't see that. The kids, they don't see it in a positive light. So anytime that I get a chance to meet guys who are men of color teaching, it's like, oh yeah, I want to talk to them because it's great. So either one of y'all can take this next question. So why did you get into education? Like, that's not the traditional field for men of color, period. That's not the traditional trajectory that we take. So why did y'all choose teaching?
Yeah, so I could talk on that. So like Andrew said, fresh out of, college, like, I needed money. So I was like, I need a job. So it's like, it going into it, I remembered about all the people that played a pivotal role in my life, and they were all men of color. That helped get me to college, and the people that kept me in college were actually men of color, especially because I went to everyone's college. It's an HBCU, the first and oldest HBCU in the state of Florida. So, like, it was always somebody there that played that role. So Coach Ford, he was a black coach, mentored me, helped me, guided me, built me up, in my field of athleticism, but also outside of that. And, Mr. Maxwell, another teacher, he was Jamaican, taught me, believed in me, was like, hey, you're not an IB, but you should be. And I was like, nah, I don't think I should be an IB. Like, that's all the, higher up kids. I'm like, that's not for me. And he broke it down for me and told me, the opportunities that existed. And he was like, I think you should give it a shot. Got me an IB. I stuck with it. It was those people that truly believed in me. Like, when I didn't believe in myself, and like, they inspired me. Like, they moved me. Like, they encouraged me. And then, so, thinking of all that, I was like, I've always liked to pay stuff forward. And I was like, I want to pay it forward. So entering education was my way to paying it forward. Okay. So, and trying to help these kids come up too.
Okay, that's what's up.
Well, for me, I feel like I'm rare, like, because when I talk to people, it's funny, like, I'm still finding my purpose and stuff like that. The only type of jobs I ever worked was around kids. Okay. I started when I was 16, 17 at the Y. So I worked at Tiger Academy, YMCA during summer camp. That was my first official job. Then I did lifeguard. I came back and I was a lifeguard. So, like, for me, I always just wanted to do something with kids. I'm like, this is fun. Like, imagine every day feel like summer camp. So it's like, I want to work with kids. And it's like, they always, like, even now to this day, like, I be in public. I don't know why kids just naturally just come up to me and just want to be playing all the time. I sit right there and play with them. Like, what you want to do? So it's like, it just come natural. And so I was like,
we playing with these random kids in the store, man.
And oh no, even if they come running by, hey, stop running. I was like, oh, you're not even mine. I forgot. Like, let me stop. But it's like, those moments, I'm like, you know what? This seemed kind of fun. And then I always think back to, like, Mr. Evans, my first banner editor. Cause, like, that's my guy, man. I looked up to him so much because he took that whole school and it's like just boom. And I'm not here without that man because he put me in band, but he also kept me on to do band, even though he was on my band director for 2 years. To this day, we still close, talk to him all the time. I even go visit his band and help out sometimes. And if it wasn't for him, like, I don't know if I would be here right now. Like, all these experiences I built in band from high school to college, it wouldn't have been because of him. And so it's like, I want to do that for somebody else. Like, I don't even got to be just straight music because I know people that I did band with, we still cool to this day in middle school. And I'm like, all right, if I can do that for somebody else, then I can help impact the world. Because, like, now I'm a teacher of 500 kids a day. And that's like, he did that with at least 300 to 500 kids. So every day I get to impact somebody and instill a fire in them to help somebody else.
That's dope. You both said one thing that's key, that paying it forward type thing. Like that's like one of the biggest benefits of being in education. Like, there's a lot of paying it forward. Like, one thing that I always say, teachers are sowers of seeds. Like, we're always just sowing seeds out. Chances are we're never going to see the fruits of our labor. Like, the benefits that we put in on these kids in elementary school or even in high school, somebody else, when they get about 25, 30 years old, go see the benefits of what we did, what we had to sacrifice. You terrorizing my classroom, probably cussing me out, and I'm just sitting there like, all right, you got one more time. So we have to pay it forward for those kids because we see certain things that other people may not see. A lot of teachers are also visionaries. Like we can see a ray of hope in students that other people, I guess that's what makes us good as teachers, because we can see certain things in kids that other people may not see. So shifting over, like, what are some benefits that you all may think that it is to have that representation of color as a teacher? Like, do you think like that even, is it helpful? Or why is it helpful for kids to see black and brown men as in teachers or in that leadership role early? Or what do y'all think about that?
I'll answer this. So it does help. I know for sure. Like, I know my coworkers be looking at me crazy because it's like, they was like, how do you know all these families? I'm like, so first off, I'm from the area, so most of them I grew up with already. Two, I'm naturally like this, like having these conversations. I talk to my kids the same way. I talk to the parents. I do car ride dismissal, all that. I be in and out the car like, hey, y'all doing? What up, man? You all right? Like, cool. So I like building relationships, like genuine relationships. Like, this only my 4th year, but I done taught maybe 3 kids out the household already. From first year, 5th grade, and now I got like, Friday, we had kids coming back because they had like different presentations and stuff. So families was coming back. The girl finna go to high school. Mr. Lodge, man, we still miss your music class. And I only taught you for 3 months. Wow. But I know the whole family. I know the mama, the auntie, the brothers, everybody. Like, what's going on, Mr. Lodge? I see him in the neighborhood. What's going on? Like, what's up? So it's like when they see me, I'm Mr. Lodge, music teacher, but I'm also that dad. I'm also a goddad. I'm uncle. I done been asked to be a godfather. I'm like, hey, we're not going that far. But I appreciate the offer, but I just did the Mr. Lodge music teacher. So, because again, I'm only one of 2 black males at the house. I mean, just being real, some don't have a dad, and even if they do, it ain't the best relationship. So it's like coming from another avenue. I let the kids be vulnerable, like certain things, other teachers might don't let slide. I let it slide. Oh, Mr. Lodge got on Yeezys today. That starts a whole nother conversation. Mr. Lodge, you like Lil Baby too? Like, that starts a whole nother conversation. So those type of things, just being able to relate, just adds on to the value of them being able to come to my room and be comfortable enough. And when they see me, even, I'll say this too, even for the white students or the other ethnicities, because a lot of times black men or men of color, period, is bad imagery being pushed in social media or in popular agenda. So when they see me, sometimes I have on the suit, some days I'm dressed down. Like, oh snap, all them aren't rappers, all them aren't drug dealers, or they ain't out in the street getting in trouble. Like, I could be like, Mr. Lodge, I can do this too. Like, oh snap, like, that's a good black man. So it just gives them another perspective, even for the other races as well.
That's true. That's good.
Yeah, and even to the point you talked about, man, it's just the ability to like build those relationships. It definitely helps in building those relationships, because like one thing is like, I don't say the kids can't relate to you, but like they can't see you, in a light where like they're comfortable in your room. Yeah. I feel like they reserve themselves, and then that shuts down the whole education piece, which is why we're in the room, is to educate them, enlighten them. But building those relationships, it helps me build those relationships. Like, hey, yeah, I get where you're coming from, but like this is where we could be. Like, let's make them strides, and just getting connected with where they are and trying to meet them where they are and help build them up to where they could be. Because like you said, it's like being visionary. Like, you can see where they could be, and like the potential that they have. But for me, it gets tough when it's like, I told my kids, it's like, I can't want it more for y'all than y'all want it for yourselves. Yeah. I can't want it more for y'all than y'all want it for yourselves. But, just being able to connect and relate to them, it definitely helps a lot.
So how, like, in both of you, like, how do you, both of you say relationships. Like, what are some of the tools that you all have felt was like the best way to build relationships with your students?
So, I don't know, personally, in the classroom, we do most, like, just teaching. But for me, they always laugh, like, you're never in your room. When I'm walking in the hallway, I be in the hallway, I be in the cafeteria, I do car ride. I build relationships everywhere but my classroom. I be all through the school. That's why they be walking around talking about, you walk around like you the principal. I'm like, I'm just doing me. Like, I just network. And you just got to catch them in those, like you said, comfortable, where they comfortable at. They chill in the cafeteria. So I go in there, I hop on the aux, I play music, and we eat and talk. Like, we just be in there kicking it, cooling it. And now, when they come to class, it's just a vibe, because it's like, all right, Mr. Lodge, I know he cool. Like, he cool enough to come sit down and eat with me and talk with me. Yeah. So that's just cool. Then I'm not afraid. I'll go talk to your parents. I tell them every day, if if I'm going off on you, the same way I'm going off on you right now, I go off on you in front of your parents. And I tell your parents, well, I'm going off on you. And so then they get comfortable, like, parent, I don't got permission to beat kids for something. I'm like, I'm not doing that. But
disclaimer, he has not beaten any kids.
I don't beat no kids. I'm not losing my job for y'all. But just the fact that they give me this ability to know that they trust me with their child.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not a parent, but I'm a godfather of 4 and an uncle and all that. To give another adult that ability and that trust is like a big thing. So the fact that they trust me is like cool. So now I feel invested. I done been in more cheerleading competitions, track meets than I could count. I was like, I don't know nothing about no bring it on, but here we are. Like, so spirit fingers, I got you. Like, but just to show up and support them outside, again, it comes when they come back and the kid, they be like, how you so cool? And I'm like, cause it's a sacrifice.
All right. So moving on. So how do you build those relationships? Finding the best ways to build relationships with your students.
I know for me, for sure, like Mr. Lodge said, it's getting involved, you know, because you could try in your classroom, but like the classroom is where we got to keep it moving. Like right now, I'm focused on biology. My kids know that. They'll ask me a question that got nothing to do with biology. And I'll be like, hold on, right now we on biology. I'll answer that question if we got time at the end of class, but let's handle biology first because we got to handle business before pleasure. And pleasure is whatever you like to do is what I tell my kids. It's football, gaming, whatever it is. Right now, business is biology. But for sure, it's outside of the classroom, like getting involved in things that they got going. For example, like I do Marathon High, I do 5,000 Role Models of Excellence. Like I be around the school. I don't walk around all over, but you know, I'll be around and I catch them where I can. And you know, definitely that big piece for me is like, because of high school, we have sports. So you know, like sports is big, like homecoming game and all that stuff. So I'll be at the basketball game, football game. I'll be cheering them on, and it's just like, damn, Mr. Guzman, like you go into the game and I try to be there, cause like for me it's another personal thing. Like moms and pops never got to show up to my games, like they were never there. I looked in the stands, wasn't there, you know. But that's personal, cause like you know, mom and dad had to work, provide. So for me, I remember that stuff. I'm like, dang, I wish somebody would have been there. So I remember that, and I'm like, I make sure to at least make 1 game or 2 games for each sport, you know, for all of my kiddos. I call them my kiddos, and I try to be there and I cheer them on as loud as I can, and it's just like being present for them.
Yeah, that's important. It's amazing when kids see you outside the classroom for the first time. It's like, Mrs. Miller, like, oh, this is what you like. Oh, shoot, yeah, hey, what's going on? And then when you do say you gonna go to a game or something like that, they be like, for real, you gonna come to my game? And then when you show up, it's like, oh man, he came for real. And it's just like, those are the moments that like we live for, because they feel like, man, if this dude then came to my football game on a Saturday, it's like the least I can do is like show up for him in class. Like my students, they knew I came. Like if you asked me, I was gonna be there when I came. So, but when we got to class, if another student I had an issue with, they were like, hey bro, you need to calm down talking to his mother like that.
Yeah.
It is. See, I got an army that you don't know about because we didn't put in those relationships. Building those relationships is the key, man. Because once they feel like they can trust you, once they feel like they can talk to you about anything, sometimes
too much.
Sometimes they feel so comfortable to talk to you about anything. Like I remember one kid was telling me about. I was like, "Why you didn't do your homework?" He was like, "Man, my mom was up watching Power." I'm like, y'all watching Power? Why are you and your mama?
I be trying to tell them, like,
watching this.
I know too much about y'all family business. Y'all better tell y'all kids to relax. And I tell parents, be careful. Y'all kids see everything and hear everything. And I know everything starting tomorrow because they come ready to tell me what happened over the weekend.
Especially long weekends.
Oh, yeah.
Over the long weekends.
Especially the breaks.
Listen.
Winter and summer break. Mr. Lodge, I got to tell you. No, you don't.
You know it's bad when they start a conversation over that. I got to tell you what. No. Don't even tell me. But sometimes kids don't get to talk.
They don't.
Parents sometimes live a fast-paced life. Things are always constantly going. And so some parents, they don't have that time to have those quality conversations with their parents. So when they come to school, like both of you already said, you know, you built that relationship, you built that trust. They feel like, hey, you know, I know they're going to listen to me. So I'm going to tell them what's going on right here where I can. And so I thought it was great. You talk about going in the cafeteria, going to spending those going to the games with them. In high school, there's always some type of event going on. So that is just dope. So there's a lot of things right now going on, and people like to use the term like these kids now this generation, it's something, and it's like now I'm 40, so I used to be part of that conversation of this generation. Like I remember when they used to talk about the dudes, so they used to always walk around with hoodies on. Like it's 99 degrees outside.
You're talking about me. I keep mine on.
Why these got their hoodies on? It don't make no sense. And I'm like, y'all better leave these kids alone. Asking them why they got it, because he want to. Like he got his hoodie on because he want to, but they don't talk to him. So my thing is like, what do you say to the generation that's passing? Like, how do you get them to get out of that mode of just saying, of looping them all together? This generation, this class of kids, they ain't no good. So what they call it right now? Who they are?
Gen Z.
I don't know.
It's all up there.
Millennials, Gen Zs, all of them.
Everybody. Like, so how do you tell them to like, you like, there's some good in them? Like, how do you shine light on that?
I mean, shoot, I think I am Gen Z, so I fall in that category. But I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, like, it's just the times, I guess. I mean, everything done shifted. It's not the same as it used to be. You know, education had to shift, especially after COVID. Like, the whole thing done shifted. So I don't know. I'm just part of Gen Z, so I can relate to the kids and stuff like that and like help. But to tell somebody, I'm like
how you tell the old heads how to relate to them? Like, how you tell the old heads how to relate to them?
I don't know.
I mean, so for me, so I'm getting my master's in curriculum and instruction. And so I took a music research class. And so we had to like just research a whole bunch of journal historical articles and all this stuff. And I read an article talked about jazz music. Mm-hmm. And mind you, we consider jazz music is American made, one of America's most the classical genre of American music, because all the other genres really weren't started here for real. Mm-hmm. So jazz was one of the oldest ones. And so I read the article, and it's taught derogatory about jazz. It wasn't, sophisticated enough. It was basically, they said jazz music was basement music. Mm. And so, all right, just follow me. So jazz music did all this, right? Now, I grew up on jazz music because my parents and my grandparents and great-grandparents played it. That's the standard. Now, for my generation, we listen to rap, of course, certain things. People didn't like it. Now, today, they have what? They got, they Cardi B's and they Megan Thee Stallions and a lot of old heads. I don't get with this rap. So I had a conversation with a parent. I said, mind you, did you go to Freaknik? Yeah. Did you grow up on booty shaking music? So all these things we talking about, it's like we get older. It's like folks getting older and lose the common touch. Like, did you forget like what you was listening to growing up? Even the old heads, y'all talk about all y'all sophisticated music. Y'all was listening to me and Mrs. Jones. If you talking about that song, let's talk about it. Yeah. That's infidelity all through there. Yeah, they just put it over a nice hook, a nice little, smooth beat, and he sung it out. But if
you gotta go that far. You go Two Live Crew.
Two Live Crew, on the loop, booty shake, music, Trina, T-double-D.
You don't know that? Oh, okay, we go. Okay.
Shoot, I had elementary school. I remember singing from the windows to the wall to the sweat. Like, excuse me, and we want to talk about that music now. Come on now, we can't lose common touch. So it's like those type of conversations need to be had because people really do forget how far they come and they get mad and lose patience. Like, they just don't get it. Well, lady, you just don't get it either. Yeah. And you getting mad at kids, they making bad decisions. So I guarantee you, if I went and looked at every decision you made, did you budget the way you were supposed to? Did you make the right decision? Do I take my hand and go upside your head when you making bad decisions every 2 seconds? No. So why you trying to do it to your child? Don't beat them and deflect your bad. You can't do that. Yeah. And it's like, we just got to keep in mind, they are still kids. And I know for me, I talk to my children, they just small humans. I give them grace, and I talk to them like that, like, hey, this is what you should have did. You could have did it better. Because COVID messed them up. And, coming straight out of COVID, especially, you got college kids now. When COVID started, they was maybe juniors, seniors in high school, and they just jumped straight to college. Think about, you lost a whole year and a half of this type of engagement, no cafeteria, no walking around the halls, no friends, no nothing. So all those conversations you could have had to mentally prepare you and build your personal skills. I still got kids in class to this day, more comfortable just typing. They don't even like talking because they're not comfortable with it because those years of development was missed. Yeah. So they're not the same generation. They're not the same type of kids. I take them outside. They look at me like, what we supposed to do? Go play. I don't get creative. They're not like the creativity portion is there, and we can talk about the curriculum. That's another reason why we've been testing. Feel like since we got in school, we still testing, and it's probably more test a mirror, all this other crap. Come on, like bro, like it's just so much. But they need grace.
Yeah.
But two, I always say this, and I say this in faculty meetings. If you gonna offer criticism, you need to offer a suggestion or action to follow criticism. We don't need to sit here and keep brainstorming. We've been brainstorming since Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was marching. So are you going to put actions to it, or like what you going to do? Because everybody can say they bad, but are you putting boots to the ground and helping them? That's true. Because you probably passing at least 10 teenagers in the hall and in the street and don't say a word, but as soon as you get home, can't believe who, like, don't do that.
Yeah. Do you see a change in social interactions with young people? But I know you're in the high school arena, like COVID era, like how is communications? Because it's like people say they always texting now, they always on their phone. You know, this has become lifelines for people. Like kids, like my daughter, I just had to learn. I'm gonna talk about her in a minute, but her earbuds stay in her ear all day long. So do you like see a difference in like social interactions or things like that?
In high school, I say yeah, because of the fact that, like you said, like nowadays we definitely got, especially younger population. Like I ain't had a phone till like I bought one in 11th grade. I had to get a phone, but you know, definitely like they're more connected. You know what I mean? Like they got Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, all this different stuff. They get access to so much. You know that from my perspective, I feel like they grow up faster. They're grown. So what I would say, but in regards to the social interactions, like it's limited. Like you said, you allow them to place, and it's like, I don't know, they still talk and stuff like that, but it's like, I don't know, they'd rather be on Instagram. They'd rather communicate via social media when they right there with each other. I don't know, it's just different.
Yeah, that is very different. Like I know my daughter, I'm telling two stories, I ain't gonna tell her name, but people know, they know who it is. She watches, she know who she is. Like, you know me, my thing, we was growing up, I had to get the girl phone number. Like that was the thing, let me get your phone number. But that ain't the way it go no more. Like, we don't give our phone numbers. Like, but you get my Instagram. Like, what? Like, yeah, that's how you do it. You like, I ain't gonna give him my phone number, but he can follow me on IG. I'm like when do he get your phone number? I don't know. It just depends on how stuff go on IG. If he liking my stuff too much, or if he always on my story, and then I'm like, God, this is so IG and social media is the connection piece for them. More so than just the conversation. Mm-hmm. It's like you watching their story, you watching how they move. It's like very interesting. And like even with another thing with her, like I've learned to listen. In my household, you have an elementary, a middle, a high school, and a college. I got all of that in my house. So I've learned to, I know so many songs that it's ridiculous. I've learned songs that I don't even like, but I know them because they watch them. And I had to sit there one day and listen to my daughter, like she loves Cardi B. Like Cardi B is her. You're not gonna say nothing wrong about Cardi B. And from a parental standpoint, it's like, why do you like Cardi B? And she told me one day, she was like, Dad, I don't like Cardi B necessarily because of what people think, of how you look at her. And she likes Cardi, she talks about Cardi B's grind, of how she started with her life and how she started from the bottom of the different things that she's had to survive through to get to where she is now. From a parental standpoint, I'm like, I see why I like Cardi B, but obviously it's not why you like Cardi B. So having those conversations, like you said, to take that time and say, why are you doing this? Or why you like that? And I think a lot of times from the old heads or the OGs in life right now, we have to sometimes take that initiative too. Yeah. To have those, to come to their tables or meet them where they are and have those conversations if we want to bridge those gaps. So another question I want to talk about. I know for me, there was a lot of unwritten rules or unwritten expectations for men in schools. He already laughing. Like, we was the disciplinarian. We had all the bad kids in our class. If something was going, hey, go see Mrs. Mother. Like, do you feel like those types of things are still happening or still around? it's a fight. And I don't break. I tell you, I don't break
Yeah,
up fights.
because I don't break up. I don't. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm not getting in there. So I don't know, like being fresh into the realm of education. I think so, especially because I've had parents reach out to me. Because like I said, I'm involved with programs like 5,000. Like sometimes there is no father figure, and like they like first not just yesterday, 2 days ago, Friday. I had a parent, no, not even a parent, an aunt reach out to me like, hey, can you talk to, my nephew so and so. Dad's not in the picture, stuff's not good at home. Can you just pull him to the side? And I was like, yeah, I can do that. And I looked up, found a student, pulled him to the classroom, talked to him, checked in with him, make sure everything was good, let them open up and everything. They told me they'd be fine, and I told them they need anything, let me know. Took them back to class. So I think there is still, some of those expectations.
There definitely still are those expectations. So I teach everybody because I'm a music teacher, so I don't get to keep like they don't send them to my class, but like I never forget one time one of my students, one of my male students, was getting in trouble, and I was just walking I'm like, this y'all job, don't bother me. I remember was passing us like, hey, Mr. Lodge, go talk to your boy, man. He tripping. I'm like, he here, man. All y'all students, what y'all calling me for? Well, he listens to you. I'm like, here y'all go. And it's like, there are unwritten disciplinaries, but I'm the fun teacher. But at the same time, it's like, y'all kids ain't crazy. They know who and who not to try. So they don't try me because one, I respect them, but two, they know we gonna get some straightening. Because in this classroom, I'm big boss. I'm him, you not. Like, it's just that simple. And I don't have no power struggles. I'm cool and all that, but they know when I have to, I will. So yeah, it's like Mr. Lodge, low kid disciplinary, and he gets the males in check. He don't mind saying what gotta be said. Cause I tell him like, y'all better stop sugarcoating these kids. They ain't slow. They're not crazy. Talk to them how you need to. Like, just don't be disrespectful, of course. But I like being a disciplinarian because at the end of the day, it's all about correction and love. These kids want discipline, they want correction. They just don't know they need it. But because, oh, let me not say that. I don't want to get nobody in trouble. No, I said. So I do extended day after school, and I had a student come up to me comfortable. And we were just talking to third graders. So like, and they was telling me like, so and so be showing out in class, Mr. Lodge. Like they trying to tell on the girl. They're like, so and so be showing out in class. And I was like, well, what did the teacher do? That's like, oh, so and so. The teacher don't do nothing. They just sit there and wait for us to be quiet or whatever. Like the teacher soft. And they legit told me that. I was like, dang, this how y'all really be feeling. That's like you said, give them the avenue to talk. They gonna talk. They legit said the teacher be soft. I was like, why y'all don't try me like that? That's how I know I'm Lodge. You crazy. Like, we ain't gonna never try you like that. I was like, so y'all know who's who and who not to try this? Like, yeah, we not crazy. I know you're not. But those, like, it's needed. Yeah. Even though it's unwritten, because like I said, I'm one of the only 2 black males in the school. That's a whole lot of kids, black males in the school. I mean, black kids in the school, period. Or some kids of color, because we got one male Hispanic teacher. I think he's Hispanic. Maybe he is. I don't know what he is. But I mean, other than that, like we don't. But I've never heard him talk anything close to Spanish. So he might be Spanish. I don't know. But if he is, that's 3.
Right.
But I'm the most seen one. I actually go out my way to be seen because you have to be active. You gotta be seen trying. So it's like I try to go out my way to be that guy, even if they didn't ask me to. I actually like the role because it's a need.
Yeah.
If I don't do it, who will? Because like you said, avoid a dad at home or just a positive male role model, period.
I know you mentioned year 4, year 3. Y'all think y'all gonna make it to 10?
Yeah. I love it. I ain't gonna I love it. So
for me, even though I'm young, right, I say I'm old because I'm an old soul. But the kids definitely keep me young. Like they keep me up with the stuff that's going on because I tell the kids too. I'm like, it's different nowadays. Like after COVID, I don't even feel like it's like what I experienced coming through high school and everything. Like, I feel like it just changed. So like I'd be like, I don't even know what y'all got going. Like TikTok wasn't around when I was, coming up and all that stuff. Instagram was just starting up and all that. So like I wasn't, on those kind of platforms. So when I see the kids on and they tell me what's going on, I'm like, man, that's crazy. Like I'm just not used to it. So they keep me young. I say they keep me young.
So you gonna make it to 10?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I love it. I love helping kids. They're funny. I'm funny. If you want to rank, you can rank all that stuff. So
Every
it's
day.
just a great time, yeah.
Line them up.
Wow. What about you?
Oh yeah, definitely gonna make it. I guess this is my career.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, it's like I've been wanting to teach. So my ultimate goal is I want to be a principal. So I want to be an administrator. So get ready for that. I don't want to do it too soon because that's a long career. But when we get there, we get there. But I can definitely see me doing this for the rest of my life and retiring from teaching or education.
It's a hot topic question, and I'm gonna ask it. Like, are y'all good with the income? Like that's a hot topic around education.
Yeah.
I know people gonna be like, if he in this interview and this conversation, they'll talk about how they make it with the income, like, cause it's different. It's a lot, and I know. I'm assuming. I think both of y'all. I think y'all single, dating, whatever. Yeah, it is. It's what it is. So how is? It's not the most lucrative job.
No.
It's not. It should be one of the, in my opinion, it should be at least in the top 3, 5. Mm-hmm. It's definitely not there. Maybe top 25. I don't know. But how does that keep you like going, knowing that that's still?
So I know when I first started, like, so I didn't have a job in college. I just went to class, went to work. I mean, not work, but band practice, all that. I really didn't have to pay for much, but I had to learn how to budget real quick. Hey, I'll make this $100 stretch for these next 2-3 weeks, like till I get something back and make it work. Like I'm used to not having much. So when I first graduated, I was still staying with my parents, so I didn't have no bills for real. I was just stacking. Yeah. And so then I was only making $39K at that time, and that was my first salary job. So nice little check. Like, oh, it's nice. I was like, I'm used to making $100 worth, and I'm in the thousands. Like, okay, taxes come back. I ain't have to owe nothing. I was like, oh, okay. So we doing good. Then it was like that's when we got sell the penny tax, whatever, kicked in, and then I'm highly effective now. So I get a bonus from that. I'm like, hold up. We got to
increase this word.
Hold on, okay. So I done jumped from 39 about 40 something. Like, all right, I like this, still with my parents. Then every year, I feel like we done got an increase almost every year. And then the past year, it wasn't the same. Now, it's not the most, but compared to what it was, it ain't even close. I'm like, oh, all right, God, you showing that. Hey, and then they told me we might be getting another one. I'm like, hey, keep boosting that thing. I ain't going nowhere. And then plus, so for me, I got friends in a couple of different careers, accountants, all this stuff. So I be talking to them, it's like, yeah, man, start investing, making the money work for you. Yeah. They instructed me what to do because I don't know nothing about this. Yeah. I got to opening Roth IRA and all this type of stuff, like trying to make it work. So like, when you retire and all that, bro, you going to be set. And then I started meeting with him. We done looked at the drop program already in the future. I said, hold on, I'm touching how much? Shoot. He was like, as long as you don't leave that FRS program, you straight. I was like, you ain't got to worry, my brother. So it ain't the most, but it ain't better than, even when I talk to people, like, it's consistent and you can do stuff on the side, have something on the side, go and make it work for you. And just a word that a lot of people don't like to use, I've seen, is budgeting. Mm-hmm. You got to stay within your means. Like, don't be out here trying to live like you got it like that and you don't. So for me, I live with my brother. We got a roommate. We rent out on our parents' old friend old house. I rent only $1,400 a month, so that's $700 a piece. So, hey, I'm doing this. Like, they laugh, I'm doing it smart. Hey, I'm saving all this bread. Like, that's true. So do it. Hey, y'all be like, I don't need a roommate. Hey, I don't need it. But if God give me a good roommate I can trust, and I can save these coins, all right.
That's what's up.
You know what blew my mind though is the fact that you said it was at $39K. Because when I came in, I think it was at like 45. So that's why I was like, yo, that's crazy. Because it was like, what, 2019 when you got in?
Yeah.
I got in 2021, so that's crazy, man.
Yeah, and it's jumping, and it keep jumping.
Yeah.
And you do performance pay?
Huh?
You performance pay, so...
I don't know. I'm still figuring out everything. I didn't even know I was tier 1, so I mean...
You look like y'all need to have another...
Don't do that grandfather pay. Do that performance pay. Be highly effective. That's another $1,500 on that check every year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So effective like $1,000, highly effective $1,500. Then if you like, I know you get paid sometimes. The school can get grades, and you get bonuses from that. We just got an A. So that was another bonus. Then we Title I, that's some more. Hey, and then student loan forgiveness, you get a Title I. So I'm waiting on that to kick in once I get this master. Like, hey, get me that back. So hey, you gotta play the game. And I feel like personally, the reason we have such teacher burnout and people don't want to last, because at first like I wasn't connected. I was just going to work and going home. Then I come to find out like like I was talking to the mentor. It was like, come to the ones, Los Unos. And I was like, okay. So I go there and I'm like, wait, dang. That's a lot of male teachers. Like, I ain't never seen none of y'all before, but then we at different schools, so it can feel like you just one lonely fish in a big ocean, like you by yourself, you draining. People don't understand how it is to be the male, like everybody looking at you and you the dominant one, you the secure one. Like, they know when I show up in the room, they could be chirping. But when I open the door, hey, shit, it's the lives coming. Like, yeah, I hear you. I know I'm coming. Yeah. Like, get it right. And it could be draining. Like, we just had a meeting last week, and it was like, how you feeling today? I was like, man, I'm chilling, but I'm tired. Yeah. And I was like, from what? I was like, bro, it don't matter what type of day I'm having before I get to work. When I get to work, I got to put that face on, that energy on, because my energy dictates my whole school. If I'm having a down day, they was like, oh, man, Mr. Lash, he's sad about something. And so everybody having a down day. So it's like I had to connect with other people. Like, I thank God for the ones in Los Unos. And a lot of teachers don't make those connections. And I didn't know about, like I said, I didn't know about the increases until I joined the union. Mm-hmm. And the union put me on. I was like, oh, I didn't know all this was happening. But if you don't get connected and plug in and have a community to support you and back you or collaborate with, you're going to burn out. And that's why you don't want to come back, because you feel like you're doing it by yourself. When you don't reinvent the wheel, just keep it going.
Yeah. For those who didn't hear it, big shout to JPF, big shout to the ones, big shout to Los Unos, always trying 1,000 by 2025. This is a shameless plug, but they doing their big thing here in Jacksonville. For those who don't know, there's JPF has kicked off a project 1,000 by 2025 where they're trying to recruit more black and brown male educators within the city of Jacksonville. We're getting close to the goal. All of us work closer with them, know who they are, and they're just doing great work. You talked about networking and working together to find more men of color in the system. Like, there's a high risk, like, we got a lot of black and brown kids in Duval County, but the amount of black and brown teachers is like low, less than 5%. It's crazy, but that's our clientele. But we don't have representation to support our clientele. So leading that question, like, what do you think, like, if you got a guy who's complaining, like, think about what he want to do, like, how would you even try to convince a guy, a man of color yourself, to come in the realm of education? Like, how could you rebrand it? Almost like something that got to be rebranded, because if you really know the history of being teachers, the field of a teacher wasn't really made for men, not men of color or anything, but just made for men, period. So how do we get that shift or change that narrative to get kids or other men to want to even come into this role? Because it's a different world over here.
Yeah, I mean, for me, when I talk about, like I said, for me, it was a paying it forward thing. It's like I was blessed, and I was told bless people. So that's why I entered the realm. But like, I learned while in the realm, regardless of male or female, the only thing that keeps you in the realm of education is if you care. Because if you don't care about the kids, and you don't care about this, profession, regardless of who you get in there, they're not going to find.
Regardless of how much money you make, too.
Yeah, regardless of how much money you make, because it's like, you do need people that care. So that's why for me, like, rebranding is like, I would, say that these kids need you. Like, they need you. They need representation. They need someone they can look up to and be like, dang, like you said, like, dang, like, this is somebody that I could be like, or somebody that I could grow up to be, aspire and go further. Like, yeah, but the biggest piece is the caring. For sure.
That's true. That's true.
It's funny you said that, because that was going to be my first point. I mean, so we always try to recruit people, and then recruitment and retention is like two of the biggest things. My thing is, this job is just being real. It's not made for everybody. And not just anybody can be a teacher. And it's funny because, like, we did, like, teacher of the year, all the videos that come out or whatever. People's like, man, you make teaching look fun. I think I want to get into it. I'm like, bro, just because I make it look fun, it ain't always fun, dog. It's days, bro. I done planned this big, spectacular lesson. I done feel like I done hit every standard I needed to, and they looking at me with a blank face. You know how hard it is to go through this darn lesson and have to reteach it, and they ain't get nothing. You look at this assessment, you like, y'all ain't learned nothing. And so then some people be quick, like, it's the student's fault. But as a teacher, you gotta go find what did I do wrong and how can I help them get over this hump. So now I gotta go relearn the information and find a new way to instruct and to assess them because maybe I missed the mark and it's on me. So when you come into this field, you gotta take me out of it and think about students first.
Yeah.
And even like looking at this, like because again, this master program opened up my eyes so much. Curriculum instruction. A lot of times you got people making curriculums with their agenda in mind. Like, what are you teaching these kids? I got kids that don't like cognitive thinking and like just brain processing is not there. Right. And I'm like, and we just sitting here teaching for tests. Like, no, are we trying to make better people or what? Like, it ain't no reason they not here mentally. And so these are the type of things you need to have conversations with yourself. It ain't the best paying job. You ain't gonna always get the respect. You gonna have to fight students, fight parents, fight administrators, fight other coworkers. And you're going to probably lose sleep on the weekends. Sometimes think about how the ways to help your kids. You're going to lose time on yourself on the weekends trying to go support your kids. Yeah. And I don't even call them my kids. I say, hey, my jits. They know they my jits. So I call them jits. Like, they know. So it's like, oh, munchkins or something. I don't call them nothing. I mess their names up on purpose on reason. Just to show them my killer. Because I tell them, I talk about you. That's how I treat you like that. That's what we did in my family. So y'all family now. But, and also, when we talk about JPL, there's like, how would you recruit? I said, honestly, I just got to make the profession more sexy. Like, increase the pay, increase the help, like reach out, actually like show teachers y'all care. Like teacher appreciation week, y'all at least go all out for us. Let's get some discounts somewhere. Like help us out, give me some Jaguar stickers or something. Like make it sexy for me, make me want to be here. Y'all nurses be walking in, police officers walking in their uniform, they get free food. Shoot, let me show my badge and get some free food. I'm teaching y'all kids.
Right.
I'm raising up the next presidents, police officers, and all this anyway. Without teachers, all this is going somewhere.
Right.
So you just gotta make it more appealing. Like make us want to come. You ain't going to no party with no boring DJ. I don't want to go to no job where I know I ain't getting paid and I'm finna do all this.
Yeah.
Please. But again, I have a why where I come here. What's your why? If your why ain't good, like you can come here, but you're gonna need a reason to make you want to stay. Because people like, oh, you teaching off passion. I ain't gonna lie, that passion to fade, dog. You're gonna need a big why. Because that energy, and when you hype, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, this, and this, and this. All right. So as them kids coming out, they try you every day. It look like you done had to pull teeth in this. Yeah. Wow. So you're gonna need some true why. Because it don't matter what job you're going. I know people in high paying jobs are like, bro, the money ain't worth it. So
that's real talk. Like you said, that passion to dry up real quick. That why gotta kick in. Why you here every day. Thinking about, I like to do a thing called wish list. So in education, there's a lot of stuff going on in the state of Florida. The state of Florida is its own issue by itself as it relates to education and those powers that be. If you had like a wish list of some things that you could change or modify or improve within the education arena, what would those things be? That you feel like if we work on this a little bit more with the same intensity that we doing with getting rid of these books out of the library or doing this other stuff that don't matter, this might help us really.
Curriculum, better curriculum. Because I just, personally, from what I see, from what I'm hearing, and just the interaction with my students, man, like literally, we just teaching for tests at this point. And they're like, I urge parents, spend time with your children, have them uncomfortable conversations, make them read, get comprehension skills up, all that. Like, because they be like, what are y'all teaching at school? In this curriculum, and as you know, he teaches, there's only so much time you get on each subject. There's only so much time you can get with them. You ain't going to get all this in 50 minutes. You ain't going to get all this maybe 90 minutes. It's so much more than like the lesson plan for that day. And teaching for the standardized tests, for school grades and all this stuff, it annoys me so bad. So like we losing arts programs because they need remedial reading and math to improve grades. You get students taken out of electives or taken out of that athletics, which is the reason they really want to go to school anyway, because they can't pass tests. And just being honest, all students aren't good test takers. I know students who can pass classes but can't pass tests. I went to school with some of them. It wasn't me. I was trying to help them. Like, they just nervous up or something. And then again, even in like Title I regions, we don't got even another wish list. All schools get equity, get all the good, best resources. Because there's no reason why the schools on the north side, maybe the east side, some schools on the west side don't get the same supplies and resources that schools on the beach don't get. Because I remember I went to Reebok, and we went from an F to C to A school. Once we got to A, then we started getting upgraded materials. We started getting new laptops. We had fatbacks. I was in school with fatbacks. Then I got friends talking about, oh, we got touch screens. And we got whiteboards. What is a whiteboard? What you talking about? Like, you serious? Yeah. We got books that talking about turn to page 55, turn the page to page 1. They got male body parts drawn all through it. Like, we can't even read a book. Pages missing. Like, but that's the type of stuff we got to fight through. And then you got teachers that got to recreate materials and curriculum just to teach the test because we don't have the proper resources to teach the material. And you got students who don't understand the vernacular that is on the test. So now when your reading comprehension is low, you don't understand the vernacular on the test, you're not going to pass. So it's like everything just need to be revamped, personally. With students in mind first. Yeah. Not politicians, not governors, not nothing. Start with the students first. If you really care about the students, I'd urge you to come sit in one of these classes with your students.
Come sit in these classrooms. Huh. Go ahead. I'm taking a note.
Yeah, I was trying to think of something, because once you said curriculum, that's what I was leaning at, and I was trying to think of something other than curriculum. I'm be honest with you, curriculum where it's at. It's like, I think I brought this up in one of the meetings too. It's like we keep pushing content. Like, and like we talked about the importance of building relationships and meeting these kids where they are, but you can't do those things because, like I said, in my class, like the focal is biology, business is biology, because that's what it is. But like, it's tough because like, oh snap, like I feel, but I'm one day off. That's gonna throw off my whole thing. Oh, like I gotta stay on top of this, push this content, push this, push that, and then at the end of the day, the kids just get burnt. Because it's not just me in biology pushing that content. They got English, they got math, all these exams that they got to take. They're getting pulled out of class to go and take this exam. You got to go and do this. So it's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, I feel like our kids are always testing every month of the year. Like, even the big tests that come up with EOC, I just feel like it's a lot. And they don't get time to be kids. Like, they're just growing. That's why I said they're also growing up fast. It's not just the social media and all that, but it's also like,
they working.
So you don't get time to like just breathe.
And like I add on to that, like I teach elementary, and they be laughing. I was like, how do y'all expect them to just sit there? They don't get what, 15, maybe 20 minutes of recess? Mm-hmm. Like, and they be laughing at me like, what you doing? Oh, me and my class went outside. We finna take a walk for the first 10 minutes of class. Yeah. One, it's helping me because I don't even like being. That's why I say I walk around the room because I don't like being in one spot too long. Even when we go to faculty meetings, me and the PTs, bro, we been at the cutting up in the meeting. It's like, can y'all hold it down? I was like, dang, I see my kids talking in class like this junk get boring quick. I'm like, and so he expected them to do that for 8 hours, no outside time. Like we used to, like it's sad to see because again, like and people don't realize how it impacts them because they don't go outside, they don't get to be creative. Everything's just pushed for content. When was the last time you just seen a kid recreationally reading? Now it's reading for the test or reading for EOC. And it's like testing. Like, but after they take the test, the knowledge is gone. They don't retain it because it has no use. And are we building thinkers? Like, are we building innovators? No, we building robots and machines just studying for a test. And it's sad to see because go outside and play. Or what we supposed to do? So you telling me y'all only good for organizational fun? Like, just go make your fun. I remember as a kid, we got locked out the house. I couldn't come in at certain hours. When 12 o'clock hit, oh, Young and Arrested on, get out. Like, shut up.
Say Young and Arrested.
Oh, now you come back in. You either in or you out. Ain't no coming back and forth. Oh, you smell like outside. Go outside. When you come in, go straight to the shower. And we had a blast. And the only time I had to come in was when that street light came on. And when that came down, we was in the house. Other than that, I was never in the house. I mean, I got video games later on, but even when I got them, my parents kept me so busy, which is another thing I like to talk about. My parents kept me so busy with activities. I was in band, I was in football, I was in all this stuff. I was never home. I was at church. Like, I was never home. Nowadays, it's rare. I talk to my kids, like, what y'all do outside of school? Oh, I'm finna go home and play video games or do something. Like, y'all don't do nothing? Mm-hmm. Like, you need those things. Because I had coaches that was another extension of my dad. And my dad was at work. I had coaches that came and picked me up. We did whatever we had to do. And they knew if I got a line, I got 10 whoopings before I even got home. Compared between band directors, coaches, and aunties, uncles, whoever. It's like, it takes a community. And I feel like we lost sense of community because everybody just doing their own thing. Like it takes a village.
Yeah. I mean, Marcus, I don't know if you know when like standardized testing started, but a lot of people that I feel, is my belief, is that a lot of people that come up with that stuff and push into the standardized testing, because I get it's better and all that, but like
1998 FCAT
I
started.
feel like they didn't, experience what it was to go through standardized testing and like get push content. Because like even when I talk to people that were teaching since way before then, it was like, oh, back in the day we gotta teach lessons like this, like that. And like things we're not in back in the day, so we don't get to do that no more. So it's just always pressed and pressed and pressed and pressed. And I mean, I experienced it because I came up with standardized testing. So
yeah. I think for me, and this just talks about me. I remember. I remember middle school we did something called a MLST. That was a minimum level skills test. I guess they were trying to figure out what's the basic stuff we know. High school, I came out of class with the HSCT and transitioned right before I think my class of 01 was the last class going into that FCAT era. So they told us, they was like, hey, we need y'all to take this FCAT. And it was like, it's a practice test. That was the wrong thing for them to tell us. Because we just went in that thing and did it. They gave us breakfast and everything. It was like, we need y'all to take this test. Is this for graduation? No, your graduation is tied to the HSCT. Appreciate that. But we're going to take this FCAT for you real quick. So, and that was the era I came at. Like I said, that was 01 with the HSCT. But now FCAT has gone out. And now y'all got PMs. DMs, y'all got PMA. There's
a mirror.
There's
testing.
There's a lot, and I do think a lot of times now kids are in overload. Like if I'm testing this much, when do I teach, or when do I learn? Like I know for my daughter, like Madison. Madison is not a fan of school. She has learned early in her life that she's only going to school because apparently her parents have to make her go to school. So she has to make the best of it. If it was up to Madison, Madison would be home or go to school as she sees fit. And that's just how she feels right now as far as school. But like my middle two with Malia and Mariah, they love school. And then my oldest with Michaela, if I gotta go, I'm gonna go. And so a lot of times it's how they perceive school, what they feel like they can get out of school. One question I want to ask you all, like, what is a plea that you would give to parents to help their kids, like to help you? Like if you felt like parents, if you help me with this one thing right here, we'll be a little bit better.
I think for me, I would say is to be involved. Because of the fact that, especially when we talk about our minority population of kids, is because, I mean, it's hard to say that because, like, I came up in a household where I said, like, mom and dad couldn't be there because they had to provide. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what, especially in Title I schools, our kids don't have those resources that other populations of kids will have, so they need to, get that support. So they can't be as involved, but still, try to be present, because, I mean, I got kids walking in with fresh J's, PS5, Xbox, and then none of that get taken. And they not doing the best in school. So, like, even the parenting piece of it all, I ain't trying to talk about how to parent, because I ain't no parent, but you feel me? Like, I think that's where it started at, because, like, my mama, she ain't playing, like, oh, it ain't going right, don't worry about it. They got handled, so I'm like, all right, I'm going to make sure it's good now. So, yeah, but that's my perspective.
Yeah, that's true, because a lot of parents are different. I do understand. When I was even a teacher, and even with myself now, I'm able to kind of be hands-on with my kids, and I do understand that. Like you said, some parents they can't. They do have to work so much, so they're not as involved or hands-on as they would like to be with coming to the school and doing that's not realistic in most cases. Some parents not coming to that school to do no. Parent-teacher conference. It's just not gonna happen because they work about an hour. They can't afford to miss work, and so we're gonna have to accept that in some cases. But then there's some parents. This is my show. I can say you just trash. Like you just kind of you can do better, but you choosing not to do better, and the kid is suffering for it. But what would be your thing for a parent?
I love the parent involvement piece because, like I said, I reach out to the parents. I love the parents. And I say for teachers, don't just call the parent only when things are going bad. Because if it's just like a family member that only asks for money, you don't know when that number ring, I'm not answering. So if you only call to only give a negative about a child, they're not gonna answer. So we gotta build relationships with our parents because parents ask me like, "What have you done to my child?" Like, what you saying? Why does my child like Kool and the Gang so much now? Like, why do they love Michael Jackson? I was like, kids are sponges. They would pick up whatever you're putting in them. So if you're at home, like, not pushing education, they not going to care about it. If you push them to read a little bit, at least 10, 20 minutes a day. I ain't telling you to do their homework for them now. Just push them. Like, just try. Because when you try, they see you trying, like, all right, this might be of some importance. Now, like, because again, I'm a music teacher. So, like, recently, past 2 weeks, so we're playing the xylophone. And I just dropped a video. So first I seen them get down on it.
I saw that.
And
I saw that video.
then this week I taught them Shake That Monkey by Too Short. So I was literally just teaching them an A minor or C major scale. It's the exact same notes. And I played it on accident. I was like, is that what I think it was? And so we started playing it. And they was like, Miss Lodge, we prefer this over Mary Had a Little Lamb and stuff like that. And I was like, I prefer this too. I didn't even know y'all would like it or not. Right. And so then we just went on with it and everybody loving it. And I'm like, they care about whatever you put your interest in, no matter what it is. They like jazz. And you'd be surprised how much they catch on to it. And I was like, why do y'all like it so much? They was like, because you make it seem fun. Like, at first it just sounds boring, but then when you get into it, it's fun. So then I was like, last year, during reading activity or whatever, I go in the hallway before school started, even though I ain't supposed to. Like, I supposed to be on planning. I go sit in the hallway and be reading books with first grade or practicing spelling words just because I'm like, all right, I don't know if y'all doing this at home, but I'm going to make sure I do something to just help y'all out. And so those are the type of things, like, it's a sacrifice. Kids take time. It takes a village. I'm willing to help, but I need to know what you need help with. Like, if you're not going to come to the conference, at least can you help me out with it? And parents don't mind ever asking me for help because they know I'm going to be one of the ones that reach out and do it anyway. But that parent involvement piece, if you show you care, the kids will care too because they're not going to care about nothing you don't care about.
That's true. All right. This has been great. I had like one more thing. I was like, I'm gonna wrap up, but this is gonna be my wrap up piece. Like I want to ask you all this. We talked about a lot about relationships. We talked about connections with our kids. We talked about how the parental involvement piece. We just talked about a lot of good things that you have experienced. So my last question that I want to kind of end on, like, how does your personality show up in your delivery? Like, do you feel like you have the freedom to really be you in your classroom with biology, you in your music? Like, how does your personality show up in your classroom? Or do you even feel like you can be like you in your classroom?
I know for me, my personality shows up. So like, I'm a kid at heart from time to time. Cause I'm an old soul too. You know, I'm very laid back. I'm an old soul. You know, but at the same time, I like to have fun. So I feel like my personality does show up because the kids need it. They need it. Like biology, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I say, my life is an irony because graduating high school, I said I'll never be a teacher. You know, I failed biology. I did not like biology, and here I am. I'm a teacher, and I'm teaching biology. So it's like, man, I did not like biology with a passion. But, you know, I found ways to, like, for me to learn it, and, like, to make it fun, and, like, to tie it in for my kids. And, like, so my personality shows up during that. I try to be active, engaged, you know, making it fun. Because like, I remember, like, man, that was boring. But I find a way to make it fun for them, you know, and they'll tie it, and then tie it to them. Like, I'm talking about chromosomes, I'm talking about football. Like, I don't know what my kid's involved in. I'm going to find out what they're involved in, and I'm going to make some kind of perspective, like, build a perspective for them with biology. So, you know, it's important, because if you really want them to get the content, you got to connect it to them. So, like, that's, you know, how I do it.
Okay, cool.
Well, I know for me, it's funny when you said one of your daughters hate school. I was the exact same way. Like, ever since kindergarten, I was finding ways not to go to school. I told them, like, I legit would bet, like, do I have to go? Like, I don't want to go to school. I hate it. They were like, well, I was like, I don't know. I just feel like it's a waste of time. Like, I just want to get a job, go straight to work. Like, I learn whatever I need to learn from my job at the job. I hated school. Even, like, literally every year, I never liked going to school. To this day, I'm like, bro, school be about some junk. But that's also one of the reasons I became a teacher, because I feel like school was so boring. And I'm like, bro, we gotta make this fun. Like, we need people in the school to make this joint fun. So Mr. Evans was like one of the funniest teachers I ever had. And I'm like, dude, I would do it like that. Now, he was crazy. He did a lot of stupid stuff, but that man, wow, like stuff he did, I ain't gonna put a business out there. But that man, hey, I should have called them folks on him, bro. He should have been fired. But he was one of the ones that I was like, man, when you do this, you gotta have like a out there approach. You gotta draw us in. Like, how can you get my attention? So my personality show up all the time. I mean, when I first got there, I had to be a little more relaxed, more reserved, be more strict, because I believe you start off tight and then you loosen the grip. Because I tell you, like, when we go recruit, I tell them, don't go in there trying to be the kid's friend. Mm-hmm. They're going to run all over you. Like, they're going to do whatever you allow. So when you go in there and strict your classroom culture, your discipline, however you need to, but set it, follow it, and do it. So I do that. Now, I mean, I done taught all them kids since most of them was in kindergarten. They respect me, but we have a time. Like, certain ones know they can joke with me like that. And then I got certain ones, like, I ain't gonna put that girl like that. She snitched on me. So I told her, you lost all privileges now, so you the ops now. I legit told her. So, hey, you took it for granted. Like, you finna see what it's like on the other side now. You one of them. Bye.
You one of them.
So, like, yeah. Like, once you betray my trust, it's a wrap. And we have a good time over here. You missing out now. You just a student. You ain't legit no more. Bye. So, I tell them straight up, like, I'm gonna give you real life lessons in here. If you gonna learn music, we gonna have a good time. But you gonna learn life lessons. Like, I tell them, like, don't do that. Like, what we doing here, staying here, like, I ain't gonna do nothing wrong, but we having a good time. I walk around music like I did in high school with a speaker on me. In college, I have a speaker walking around the hallway sometimes just blasting music. I'd be outside doing car ride dismissal with a speaker every day. The parents be like, you out here jamming, Mr. Like, every day. I gotta make it fun. Like, I make school like a party. Like, we pulling up, we having a good time, because, again, they test and work all day. Relax, like, unwind. Ain't no reason why one time we have a good time when we leaving here. Like, I need to have a good time here. So I shine every day in that school partying.
That's what's up, man. I want y'all to have that final word on it. I appreciate y'all time, man. I appreciate y'all coming out to rock with me for this time today, man. It's been great. Like, I'm already thinking about going back and looking through it and just peeling back. I love to be able to peel back y'all brain. I love the fact that y'all both are in y'all field and that y'all love it. And it shows that y'all love what y'all do. Y'all love the students that y'all affect every day, from the middle school, from elementary school to high school. I love it. So if y'all don't hear it enough, I thank y'all for being teachers. Thank y'all for being men of color in education. Again, I wish I would have been able to run into myself a little bit while I was teaching. I'm glad to know that my daughters have an opportunity to probably run into some more men of color. So I appreciate y'all time for rocking with a dope black dad on the night. Everybody who joined, we appreciate y'all for joining us, for sticking it out with us. And till next time, we appreciate it. We'll see y'all. And as always, we out. Appreciate it. Deserve.